Wake up, little Susie, wake up. Dun, dun, dun. That was a great song. Well, the ocean is still got surfers in it. It's lovely. But this is a little challenge to Pragertopia wisdom. Please, Mr. Prager, do tell with your Genesis expertise that's presented so well in your Bible commentary, which I haven't read, but I think I understand some of its Talmudic roots as you join hands with Christians. Talk about your great wisdom that you've got, but yet, wasn't that one verse in the Old Testament somewhere that said, "Let not him who boasts boast of his wisdom, and let him who is mighty not boast of his might, but let him who boasts boast only of this, that they understand and know me, the only one true God." So, since you've got so much wisdom, and you are from New York, Ashkenazi, I am guessing, with all of your great, 30 more points of intelligence? So, is that wisdom based on you knowing God, or knowing of yourself as God, like the Pharisees did, and that's why they killed my king, and now you're in that Talmudic idea that he boils in shit? Well, I heard there might be like shit in the ocean soon, and I don't know if you're trying to be swimming or surfing there. You look a little chubby to me, but hey, when that surf's really up and it gets real shitty with all those boiling in shit ideas, well, I'm guessing that maybe you're trying to surf there, or I don't know, because you really look like those blasphemers that have no hope in this life or the next, like that raven from Edgar Allan Poe, Nevermore. Oh yeah, like that movie, The Unforgiven. So that actually comes true for the king who came and was killed, and now you're part of deleting him. So do tell of your wisdom and how you do know this God, because the thing about the shit in the ocean, in the surf, and the fake salt killing the sea creatures now, well, I don't know if Ashkenazis are part of that or any of these things, but Revelation 22 talks about where there's no more 7 seas anymore, because they're all dried out, like those dead seas over there, that area that you always love to talk about is why we need anti-Semite laws, just like Stalin did when he killed 10 million Russians, and you studied that so well. So were you like Stalin's best friend in your studies, as you loved how he did that so well? I'm just trying to understand your wisdom, Mr. Prager, because it really seems to me that you might be already one of the zombies, or leading the pack to the sea. I just trying to understand your theology and your wisdom and your Bible knowledge at Pragertopia. So please tell me, because I heard you say just recently about how you were going to talk about these Bible verses and how they prove wrong things or something, but I don't hear you talk about your wisdom about knowing God and understanding Him, because I never heard you talk that much about prayer or joy, or the joy of the Lord is my strength, which isn't that like one of the Psalms that I used to sing so well? The joy of the Lord is my strength. And what about that? Doesn't that bar mitzvah thing have a thing where when you're 13, you have to know that the only way you can blaspheme is if you actually know God, and then stop listening to Him because you're such a know-it-all, like 30 points of intelligence more than anyone else on Earth, kind of thing. And then in that know-it-all thing, he started like wanting to find all the adulterous whores and stone them to death. And then he said, well, whoever has no sin, pick up the first stone. And then all of a sudden, all those Pharisees just disappeared. Like maybe they were one of the ones in bed with her. I'm just saying, I don't quite understand how all of this wisdom works. So if you could just clear it up real quick with a few verses, like you said, because I've got Revelation 22 right there, and then I've got that other one, about wisdom. But you always got all your wisdom to talk about, but yet it seems that you always kind of say that your wisdom is because you're one of those chosen ones. That's why you grew up in New York, and you just had to tell everybody about it, especially after you went to Russia to get real understanding of Stalin's ways. And that might have to do with all these laws that you're pushing now, like the ones that the gold coins were on, and you're still trying to hold on to that racist idea that everybody's a racist against you, and that's why you got to kill everybody, the other races that you don't. What is it? I just can't keep up. There's so many things. Please, my dear Dennis and Pragertopia, it looks like that whole utopia might be your own little dream that's making zombies out of people who are ignoring that king who's coming that all will bow to, and that's when the shit goes to sea. But if you're still trying to like disguise that Jesus boiling and shit idea, well, I'll just try to get it out in the open for you and ask you if you want to debate it. And in here, you're great. You can bring even Ben Shapiro. Is that the one who you agreed to put on with Joe Rogan to tell him he might be our Messiah after you behead how many of us? Was that the plan?